See, I'm not trying to be one of the girls that love to gossip or anything, but is it just me? Or have you guys also noticed that all the West African girlies that used to have us on a chokehold on YouTube back in the days all got married around the same time and then they all got divorced around the same time? Like, I'm not laughing at them. I am just like in shock because even after they got married, I was obsessed with their families because I enjoyed watching the woman, like the mom on YouTube and everything. They were so much fun to watch. Like, I enjoyed that time. And then seeing them getting married and becoming mothers was such a beautiful thing to experience. I felt like we were family, you know. So as in like I don't know how, for like right after COVID, I did see like some of them were part of that like video challenge, whatever, and they were still with their husbands, right? So after COVID, pretty much all of them got a divorce. I think only about one or two are still with their partners, but the rest of them got divorced. Like Jackie Aina is still with her fiance, while the rest of them got divorced. Pick Mill got divorced. I can't even. Ronke got divorced. Um, the other one with the curly hair, naturally Temi got divorced. I can't remember all of their names, but the majority of them all got a divorce, and they all are just like baby mamas. The one that shocked me the most was naturally Temi because she was obsessed with that man, and they were like people of God. Like, I just love how they would talk about God. I loved how she talked about, just she was just so sweet and so cute, right? And at that time, I think her and Pick Meal, or her and one of the other natural hair girlies were like besties, and they always took pictures together. And when I heard that she got divorced, I was a little hurt because I was like, wait, what happened? Like, her and her husband were so cute together, but yeah, they got divorced. I knew something was up with her when her and her husband had that account for her daughter, and then they would talk on that account. It was so insane, but I was just like, okay, they're going through a phase or whatever. But they got divorced. And then Ronke, I feel just her story. I love that she ended up telling us why they got divorced. I really feel so bad for her because I hate that a lot of African people don't understand it when people have a mental issue, especially after having kids and being who she is, social media and all of that. That can take a mental toll. And then I think she was on antidepressant or something, but her story, the way she explained it, was pretty sad. But she's still pretty. Her babies look just like her and her partner. Like, they were just like this perfect magazine looking couple, and they broke up, so that sucked. But I'm glad that she chose herself and her babies. And then Peak Mill has always been so private, so I wasn't shocked that she broke up with her husband. And I kind of knew that her and her husband were over because somebody that actually likes gossiping, not like me, ended up posting Pick Meal's business on YouTube because she went missing for a while. And then somebody started posting on YouTube talking about her husband and just a lot of crazy shit that happened. And I didn't sort of kind of believe them because I'm like, Pick Meal is too private to let her business out like that. If you know Pick Meal, you know she doesn't talk about her life. Like, you barely get to see her children. And then all of a sudden somebody's posting her business, but then they had proof from like her husband's Facebook pages, and her husband was the one that was spilling the tea, which sucks because a lot of African men, when they don't want their wife anymore or they're ready to divorce, they start talking to mud. They turn into little, sassy pants. So I get it. And yeah, it is what it is. But the majority of these YouTuber girlies got divorced, and I need y'all, the same energy you guys were putting into the videos. I'm going to need you guys to tell us why y'all got divorced. Pick Meal, I know you are a very private person, but I know that you've also been trying to do your comeback in social media or whatever. You've been getting lots of love from your fans, but I want to know why you divorced. Because I'm not a gossiper. I'm not nosy at all. I just want to know why you got divorced. Okay? Ronke told us a little bit, and I love that. I'm not sure if naturally Temi told us anything, but I want to know why y'all got divorced. Okay? And the rest of y'all. I just cannot forget. I can't remember everybody's names. But y'all know who y'all are. All the YouTube West African girlies from the US. All of y'all. We need to know why y'all got divorced. Thank you. around the same time, and then they all got divorced around the same time.
First of all, LOL. When I saw the video pop up on my For You page, actually, I'm lying. My cousin actually sent me this video, but that's not the point. She just watched her whole video. She talks about, why the YouTube girlies were getting divorced and blah, blah, blah. Number one, she was like, oh, yeah, I don't like gossiping. I mean, let's be for real. Everybody likes tea. But that's not the point. The point is, I'm going to use this stitch to actually bring up a really important topic that has something to do with divorce, but also has a lot to do with a lot of younger women and societal norms. I've talked about this. I mean, she says I talk about it, but I just wanted to like bring it up again. Marriage isn't something that we're taught to have, and we are not taught a lot of values of like what it takes to hold a marriage. A lot of women go into marriages and lose themselves and find out that they are turning into either their spouse or they are being abused and they don't want to leave. A lot of times, especially with boomers or people that are older, what tends to happen is they can have all these long 35, 45-year marriages, but there has been fatal mistrusts, fatal flaws that have gone on that most of the women stay and become bitter when they're older. But our generation decided, hell no, we're not dealing with any of that. And a lot of us, because of that, had the, first of all, mind to leave and also the stability to leave, because at the end of the day, most of us YouTube girlies, we were independent of our spouses. And what tends to happen in those kind of situations is, especially when we have kids, we're able to take care of our kids by ourselves. Yes, it's hard. We got to do what we got to do. I'm not speaking on behalf of everybody, but I'm just saying, like, in general, like, I'm not speaking on behalf of the YouTube girlies, but I'm saying, like, in general, marriage is not just what you see. Marriage isn't just, oh, it's such a beautiful wedding, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's really what goes on behind the scenes. And a lot of marriages take a lot of commitment. It takes a lot of effort. It takes two people who are willing to work together. And a lot of times we're talking about the Nigerian women, but we also need to talk about a lot of Nigerian men who are unhealed. And when I mean unhealed, nobody is really fully healed. I mean, they are not willing to work on their trauma. So when we as women are willing to work on our trauma, are willing to look past certain things and they aren't, most of the time it becomes this push and pull thing where we now have to now start picking up the pieces. And like the people in the past, we're not going to do that anymore. We are going to forge our own path. We are going to allow ourselves to be women and be fully ourselves without being under a shadow of a guy, So as far as all that divorce stuff, y'all, let me tell you something. A woman only gets divorced if it's really the last straw, especially a Nigerian woman, because we are very tough. We are very strong. And when we have had it to here, is over. And when we have really, really had it, we've had it. So most divorces, that's how they are. And I know it's hard to fathom, being divorced, but honestly, sometimes it's the best you can do for your mental health, for your physical well-being, and honestly, for the sake of your children, because when children are involved, it then gets more complicated because you want a better future for your children. You don't want a future where because mommy and daddy are together, that's why, you have like dysfunctional children because mommy and daddy decided to be together when in actuality they should have been divorced. Dysfunction can come from either being divorced or staying married if you're married and you're having arguments and things are unstable for the children. So I know that like a lot of people, they glorify marriage, and I still think marriage is a beautiful thing. I will 100% get married again. But now I know what to look for and I know what to think about when I'm looking for an ideal partner because of what I've been through, because everything in life is a learning experience in general, no matter how painful it may be. So I guess all I'm saying is marriage shouldn't be the whole end goal, especially as a woman. And even if you want to get married, make sure it's with somebody that you feel as though you can build with and change with, because we as humans are continuously changing. And sometimes people change and they grow together, and sometimes people change and they grow apart. So if you're out there and you're thinking like, oh, I'm in my 30s or I'm in 20s and all my friends are getting married, I'm not getting married, wait. Wait till somebody who genuinely wants to be with you, who genuinely likes you, gets married to you and ends up creating what you want. And the wait is excruciating. Being single isn't easy, but being in an actual marriage, because I'm telling you guys right now, divorce is not an easy process. It's actually really long and tedious. It's actually easier to get married than get divorced. So take that decision very, very seriously. Don't take it lightly. Don't think that it's all about just wearing a pretty dress or having different outfits. Yes, it is very fun, that part. But make sure you are married to somebody who you share the same values with, who you see a future with, that is not only just a good future, but what if something bad happens? That, for better and for worse, is not just a small thing. For better and for worse really means for better and for worse. And sometimes people see worse and they're like, all right, bet, I'm out. So let me stop here because I did not expect to go in that far. But if you have any other things to input into this conversation, please leave it in the comment section down below, because this is a whole conversation, okay?